Well folks, welcome to the video where we are going to take a look at this silver pocket watch made in England. It's an English pocket watch and it's what's known as a Fusee. It's not a verge Fusee, it's a lever Fusee. Okay, so to remove a Fusee watch from its case has a very slightly different system to the later watches. Essentially it's on a hinge, and to remove it there's a wedge which should be thicker at one end, and so you push the wedge out. Actually and the Fusee clock simply lifts out, and as I said, this is a silver case and you can see the hallmarks just there from about 1912 or something like that. And that's what the clock looked like when it's out. Obviously you don't want to damage the hands, but the back of a Fusee clock has a case over it, and you can just see the top jewel there of the balance. This is a click here that holds the case on, so you push it in that direction and the case will come off. Now this particular clock has something going on with the balance there. The balance does actually seem okay, but see this time after time after time, this kind of thing. So this particular style of balance is not attached to the bridge. It is removed by taking this little chock out just here. Okay, so looking at the jewel, which is this piece here, under the microscope, actually looks okay. Looks like quite a good jewel. But when you measure the surface of this, I don't know if you can see this on the camera. Maybe, maybe not. It's not as flat as you might hope it would be. Okay, there are three chocks holding the face on, or the dial, and one of them's missing. Okay, motion works. Right, to discharge the Fusee, we have to take off the third wheel, which is this. Now I just want to show you something in this video. Now you can see just there, look. Essentially that is the end of the Fusee chain. What that means is that you can't see any chain here. What that means is that all of the chain is on the cone, which means that the watch has been wound up to its max. and you should be able to see that. Okay, so you can kind of see there that the fusee cone's is full with chain essentially, and if you just trace the chain there you go. You can see it comes straight across to the hook point on the drum, which is just there. So that is fully wound. So that needs to be discharged. The way that it's discharged is by removing this, which is the third wheel. You have to be careful with that one because that's the pivot for the second hand. You need to remove the third wheel. Now if you do that, the whole thing will just go blah, 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 and you really don't want that. So you have to hold the other side of the watch with the watch key, preferably in a vise, but it doesn't matter. The springs are not that strong. So now you can see the fusee chain there, which has wound itself back a little bit, and that's the reason why you can't just pull the barrel straight off. Well, we know the spring is good. Now before we remove the top, this piece of spring steel here, underneath that is some very delicate parts, the lever fork and that, so don't go sticking a screwdriver in there and yanking it off. You leave that till you're taking the lid off. Lever fork, there you go, skate wheel, second wheel, fusee cone, and that's held on with a cannon pinion. This is the little ratchet for the fusee cone. This is the stop mechanism to stop overwind. Just here is the jewel for the balance wheel. So all of these little pivots and all this old hardened oil here and everything, that all has to be removed and cleaned up. Now that the sensitive parts have been removed, it is okay now to lever this off. And the bottom jewel does look okay. So, whilst preparing the remains of the watch for cleaning, we have found a fault here, so that'll need to be rectified, I think, before we can continue. That probably wouldn't stop it running. Well, that brings us to the end of the disassembly, folks. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.